Hi, today's topic is managerial functions. So let us see what are the different functions. Some book says about 4 functions, some says about 5 functions. Um, the books which says about 5 functions because staffing is also being included in that. So let us see what are those functions are. About the managerial functions, Henry Fayol has explained in his book called General Industrial Management. In that, he explained about planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. Let us look into the 4 functions of management. The first one is planning. The planning means like it is a course of action. Let me make it a little more clear. The planning happens at different levels, at the organizational level, at the department level, and at the individual levels. So individuals has to plan it that how exactly I'm going to do the work. When all the people in the department have to have some kind of a plan, so that no individuals they plan it, so that no that planning will help the department to achieve the goal. When all the departments plan it in an appropriate manner, the finally you find that the organization is to able to achieve its goal. So that is what the planning is all about. So at different level, there should be some kind of a course of action. So that is what planning. Organizing. So here we have to understand 3 important words. One is the task, the second one is authority, and the third one is relationship. So the task is the job which the people are doing it. What is authority? Authority is some kind of a responsibility which has been assigned to that particular individuals. And the last one is the relationship. So some kind of a relationship between. So some individuals may be commanding so that the work has to be done, and the other person people will be executing the work. So that is what the relationship is all about here. So why all these things have been done? So that now you achieve the goal of the organization. The third one is leading. What is leading? So you as a leader, you have to motivate the individuals, you have to coordinate, you have to energize the individuals so that no organizational goal is being achieved. The fourth one is as a manager, you have to control. So what do you mean by the word control? So you are measuring it. The activities which has been happening in the organization. We can say that there is some kind of a standard is being kept. And as you do the work, you compare with whatever you have done with the standard. So that will help you to understand that where exactly the things are missing or whether you are in the right track. So if there is some kind of a deviations, you can take some measures so that no, you are able to achieve the standard or almost closer to the standard so that no, the organizational goal is being achieved. So this is what the 4 functions which managers will be doing it in an organization. So that they have to plan, the managers have to plan, the managers have to organize the things, the managers has to lead the employees, the managers has to do control. So the control means like the some kind of a standards, you call it as actuals and decide. So actual is this things like actually what exactly you are doing it. Decide is when the some kind of a standard is there. So yet in order to achieve the standard or the decide one, you have to keep on comparing the actuals with the decide so that no deviations has to be reduced so that no finally you achieve the organizational goal. So here one important aspect is that all these functions at the end it has been mentioned goals, goals, goals and goals. So when you talk about organizations all have goals. So in order to achieve the goals, what exactly the managers has to do? So they have to plan, they have to organize, they have to lead and control. This slide also explains about the 4 functions. So whatever we have explained, now here we are trying to see it in a different or slightly in a different manner. So planning, we are trying to say that it is all about defining the goal, that is establishing some strategies and developing sub plans if it is required, so that now you can coordinate the activities in a proper manner. Organizing in the sense like, so there in the previous slide we said about the 3 important aspects. One is the task itself, the second one is the authority, and the third one is about the relationship. So here it says that determining what needs to be done, how it will be done, and who is to be done. And leading, as it has been said, it is all about motivating the subordinates. So you have to direct them. Sometimes they will be stuck with some work, they are not able to, they're not clear how exactly to go forward with the work. So some kind of a support, some kind of a leadership is required to allow helping them to go ahead with the work. So that is what the leading is all about. So directing and motivating the individuals, and also one more thing is that resolving the conflict. At any point of times, any kind of a conflict, any kind of a difficulties employees are facing, it is the responsibility of the managers to see to that everything is being sorted out and they are able to go ahead with the work in a proper way. The last one is controlling. As it has been said, it is something like a monitoring kind of an activity where you have a standard, you have the actuals, you keep on comparing it, you keep on monitoring it and see to that whether they are able to achieve the goal which has been planned. So that is what the management process is: planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. So here let us look into it in detail about what planning is all about. So here we are talking mainly about three important steps in the planning process. The first one is which goal to pursue, because depending upon the priority or which has to be given much of an importance. So based on that is what we decide. So the which goal has to be taken into consideration first. So that is what the first step is all about. The second one is there may be different course of actions. So you have to decide which course of action will be more important or which will help you to achieve the goal. So that is what we say about deciding what course of action. The third one is how to allocate the resources. Resources in the sense the man, money, machine, material, all these things can be the resources. So how much is that? How many people are required for continuing with that particular work so that no goal can be achieved, or how much is the money which has to be spent, or how many machines are required, or how many raw materials are required. So that has to be decided by the manager. So in the planning stage we have to decide about all these things, so that no, once everything is being ready we try to execute it. So that is what we say here. The goal has to be, which goal has to be taken to considerations, what is the course of actions, and what are the resources which is being required. So if you decide about all these three important aspects, the planning to an extent you can say that it is ready. The next, so organizing is the second important functions. So let us look into it in detail what organizing is all about. As I said, there are three important words here. So what are those? Task, authority, and relationship. So it is like relationship in the sense like each reporting to the other. So a higher level manager may be reporting to a still higher level manager, a person who is at a lower level reporting to a higher level managers. So you have colleagues. So what a kind of a relationship you have with the or what is the way in which you communicate with them. So all talks about the organizational structures. Like that, different departments you have it as, for example, HR department, you have marketing department, manufacturing department. So like that, different departments we have it, and within these department you have different hierarchies there. So there is a some kind of a formal way of interacting with each other. So that will help the organizations to get the work done in a proper manner. So to achieve the goal, it will be very good. So that is what here we are trying to talk about the organizing. So some kind of an authority, responsibility which has been assigned to individuals, and that talks about the relationship. And then we try to see to that all these things are in a formal manner. Yes. Next is about the staffing. So staffing in the sense like filling the positions in the organizational structures. You find that some people leaving the organization, some people you may be recruiting into the organizations. Again, here we look into three important aspects, that is knowledge, skill, and ability. Ability or attitude. So every job it requires some kind of a knowledge is required for doing that particular job, some kind of a skill is required for doing the job, or some kind of an attitude or the positive attitude in which for executing the such kind of a work you are doing it in the organizations. So that is what we are trying to look into. So every manager has the role to play. When somebody is leaving, how many people have to be taken in that particular position? Is it the one person only, or two people has to be taken in that particular position which the person has vacated now? So that is what here we are looking into it, like staffing as an important function of a manager. Talking about the leading, so as we said before, the manager has to show a path to the subordinates. So that will make it very clear for the employees what exactly they have to do. He has to motivate the employees, he has to energize the employees, see it, make them understand that how they have to work, or how exactly they can able to attain the organizational goal. So now let us see the last function, that is controlling. As I already said about it, is set some standard, and as you continue with your work, you keep on monitor it. You try to see that what is a deviation from the standard, and based on that, the action has to be taken. So that is what the controlling is all about. See, is just a small example in a production department. You are planning that 100 units of packets has to be packed, or units has to be packed by the end of the day, by starting from 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock. So 100 units of packets has to be get ready. So this is the standard which they have maintained. So each employee, when they are working, some may be able to complete 96, some may be able to complete 98, some may be able to complete the 100. So that is what. So now when you compare with the standard, some are able to achieve the desired one, some are not able to achieve it. It may be because of they are not trained enough to do it, or they are not well on that particular day. There may be so many reasons. So understanding the what is the reason behind it, so that you can motivate them, you can what do you call, encourage them, so that the goal can be achieved. So that is what the important. So finally, if you look into it, all these four functions, or 4 or 5 functions which I have explained, that is planning, organizing, staffing, leading, and controlling, all these functions are very important for the managers. So effectively following these functions, the manager will be able to achieve the organizational goal. Thank you.